Hello everyone and welcome once again to God Talk on Cambridge Community Access Television. Each week at this time, you can tune in to our conversation about God, about faith, about life, about purpose, about meaning, about all of the big questions and a sprinkling of small questions too. And I'm here, Michael Mack. I'm here with my good friend Michael Koran on my right and your left, I think. And so today we're going to try something a little bit different. Michael, I'll give you the layout. Michael Koran has this book called Paper Lanterns, and it's a set of quotations that are printed in The Sun. The Sun is a periodical, beautiful periodical. Beautiful in its photographs, beautiful in its stories and poems. It's really a beautiful book. But they also include quotations, typically at the very last page, I think.
Yes.
Of every magazine, a series of quotations. And so Michael has taken the liberty of marking up a book. Well, it's his book, but for me it's sort of like it'd be like marking up a Bible.
Wow.
You don't mess with books.
Wow.
You don't draw on books, you don't write anything,
Oh,
you don't highlight.
Nothing?
No. You leave it perfect, and when you open it up very delicately, not to bend the binding.
Oh, so your books have no...
My books look like they've never been read. And most of my books actually have never been read.
Well, we won't know which is which. Right? We can't tell.
That's right, you can't tell. I let you in on a secret. So Michael has marked up a bunch of quotations with check marks, with wows, and I guess the ones that really didn't do anything for you, maybe question marks, but those that didn't do anything for you, you just didn't touch, didn't do anything with.
Right.
And I'm not sure that you read the whole book.
No, I haven't for sure,
Okay.
only the beginning.
So what we thought we would do is just draw from these quotations, and we can comment on them or unpack them, or maybe say nothing about them and move on to the next one. But there are some really great ones in here. Here's one from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman, what was he? He was a writer?
Emperor. Both.
Right. Thank you for more fully. I forgot that he was an emperor. If you wanted to be remembered as a writer or as an emperor, which would you pick?
Oh, I'd love to be remembered as a writer. I'd love that.
Huh.
I mean, I'd like to be a good emperor too. Maybe remembered to having done good. It's not so easy to be a good emperor.
Oh, it's tough. Actually, it's tough to be a good human being.
Yes.
Much less an emperor.
Boy.
Because no matter what your situation, you're going to have to make some hard choices. You're going to have to displease some people.
I would have been very bad. Gabriel Garcia Marquez is known to have said when being driven in a cab,
Yeah.
I hope this cab driver is a better driver than I am a writer.
Well, did he get there?
He got there.
He got where he was going? Okay, Marcus Aurelius, emperor and writer. Do every act of your life as if it were the last.
Wow.
That's so true. And how can we possibly do that? I often wonder. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and we were thinking about the idea, if we knew the moment of our death, if we could know the moment of our death, if we could choose to know it if we wanted to, would we? Or would we just leave it the mystery that it is?
Oh, I'd love to know. I mean, I tell my friends to tell me. I mean, some people that want their family to tell them.
Before the family kills them, you mean?
Or before they die. They don't tell me I'm dying of cancer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. But if if it's an auto accident, for example.
Yes.
Or it's You know, something horrible, a murder. Okay, maybe we don't know maybe we don't need to know how we're going to die. We only need to know the moment that we're going to die. But would we do it? And she asked a friend that very question, and the friend said, no way, because I couldn't stop obsessing about it coming.
No.
I couldn't think about anything else.
It does focus the mind.
It concentrates the mind wonderfully. Who said that? Wasn't that Dr. Johnson?
It might have been Dostoevsky too. Dostoevsky was the Tsar in his infinite playfulness when Dostoevsky was arrested for being just a socialist.
And he was going to be executed, right?
Yeah, they pretended. They put him up in front of a firing squad.
Oh, okay.
And raised a rifle, and then didn't shoot, and put him into Siberia for 8 years.
But he wrote that knowing that you're going to be executed concentrates the mind wonderfully. Something like that.
I mean, he remembered that very.
Yeah.
That would be hard to forget.
Yeah, it would be hard to forget. I know of somebody, or I don't know if this is apocryphal. No, I'm sure actually that it's happened at least once, probably many times in the history of the world, of somebody taking a revolver, 6 chambers, putting one bullet in, spinning it, and pulling the trigger, and living, and feeling like life just began again.
Wow!
I mean, can you imagine the rush of life that would pour through you in that instant when you know that you're still here? I mean, I'm not advising this for anyone. Do not try this at home. Do not try this anywhere. But I've heard of people who have done that.
And war might be something like that.
For sure. Actually, I just saw a film about Afghanistan, about a was it a squadron or a platoon in Afghanistan in the Koran Valley? It was by the same guy who did Restrepo. Anyway, the rush of a firefight is like, they say, like nothing else. And you can't repeat it. There's nothing else, that sense of being completely alive and being with people who you're loving and supporting and who are loving and supporting you.
Otherwise you die.
Yeah.
If one of them messes up, you might die.
Yeah.
Well, my father was a fireman. There was some of that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Going into a burning building.
Yes.
Wow.
Policemen might have it sometimes.
Or being a policeman.
Yep.
A policewoman. A policeman or policewoman.
Yes, I think firemen maybe more. Maybe. Although my father did say that any fireman that gets hurt, it's their fault. So
because the training is so rigorous?
Maybe that if they know what they're doing, they don't get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true.
I'm not sure that's entirely true, but I can understand the thinking behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, new quote, if you're ready. Unless you have more thoughts.
Boy,
on life and death.
To know that each moment we might do whatever we're doing as if we might die.
I don't know if it's possible to do that without knowing, without having the date, without having...
Well, given what's happening in our world now, we're getting closer. Hurricanes, our present political situation, H-bomb might be coming from North Korea.
From North Korea. Well.
But we lived through the...
Duck and cover, man.
Yes, we lived through the 80s where that was possible. With the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, 60s you mean?
Yeah, 60s too.
Yeah.
But to really I didn't take it in.
Yeah, I was completely unaware. It was 61, right? So I was 5.
I got a little closer. I had this sinus cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And that I thought was going to take away my speech, my vision, and my eating. So that was close. And I would have died but it wasn't right at the moment.
Actually, the closest that I can think of coming recently I mean, it's no comparison at all, but it just, there was a period for about a year where I didn't know where I was going to live. So I wasn't homeless, but but it was extremely uncertain what my living situation was going to be. So it pales by comparison to all of the examples that we've had so far, but it was just, I had a sense of just kind of giving everything over in trust to a higher power.
Wow.
That it would work out.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had in love, I felt like I was, as my dance teacher Patrick said to me, this was on tape, you can see it on YouTube. Michael, when you try to give yourself to people, you don't have yourself, so there's nothing to give. And
What does that mean to you?
It meant that if I open up, try to be caring, but I'm not myself, because I'm hiding from. I'm trying to be good because I'm afraid to just be me.
You're fulfilling the form?
Yes, but not
as a
I'm
way
not really
to
in it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so being close to anyone was just felt like dying. Because I didn't.
Because you weren't telling the truth in a way.
I wasn't. I would be revealed when anyone's close to me. I found the two things really intolerable about my last living girlfriend, who I loved, my beyond significant other, that she was getting to know me. She was. That was just. That was horrible. And she wanted me to know her. It was just and relate to her.
It was too much.
I mean, what do you can only handle so much.
We're only human.
Yes. So there I felt like I was dying, or just really feel it. But it's different. I knew I was going to survive it.
Yeah. I remember I had a stepmother when my dad remarried. They were together for a number of years, and then ultimately they divorced. But she said of him, afterwards, she said of him, I never felt like I knew him. I never felt like he was able to show himself to me.
Yep.
And that's I imagine that's not an uncommon complaint from women about men.
It's so nice, but I had to go through about 7 years of rather ferocious parts of me that were crushed and wanted to come out and were, to say the least, very angry, rageful.
You want to see me? Here, I'll give you some me.
Yeah.
I got your me right here, pal.
Yes. So they would say such nice things as, you are vile. You are lower than scum.
They had quite a vocabulary.
Yes, they were all.
On that note,
and they were all lonely.
Here's a wow from Barbara Cook.
Okay.
If you're able to be yourself, then you have no competition.
Wow. You don't have to be better or worse than anybody. That's true.
You know, if you come to that place, you're kind of free of all of it, right?
Yeah. She put it very succinctly. These people they've traveled. They've earned these words.
Okay. Shall we find another?
Sure.
We'll look for another one.
I love playing this game because I eventually might learn them. To remember them. They're each of them like life-changing.
Here's one from John Cage that you gave a wow to.
Okay.
And you and our audience may know that John Cage is the famous musician, the famous radical musician who once sat down at a piano and just sat there for, 10 minutes, half an hour, something like that.
Yep. People have paid.
People paid to hear that.
Yep.
Oh, did I just lose it? Oh, for heaven's
There's
sake.
a famous court case.
What court case?
Which of a John Cage in it.
Yeah?
John Cage's estate, I'm not making this up, sued a musician for having silence in his performance.
Oh.
And said that he had stolen it. I'm not making this. This is a true court case, and the jury or judge had to decide whether silence could be patented.
Well, I think that the answer would have to be no, right?
I think it was no. Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that I lost in my exuberation. I lost the John Cage.
But it didn't. But whatever your moves to find.
Well, you keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh no, you're gonna find. Oh, that's hard.
I'll try it for 10 seconds.
Hard. No,
How much you want to bet?
You've gone past. We had a bet like this one.
I know we did, and you lost it,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
John Cage,
Yes.
I win.
We had a bet where you had a certain amount on television. You had a certain amount of
Yeah. And in the last 2 seconds.
You looked in the index and you found it.
Well, use whatever tools are at your disposal. Winning, let me see. Green Bay Packers coach Vince Lombardi said.
Yeah. Winning isn't everything; it's the only thing.
That's what it was. Thank you.
You might be in one
Winning.
of these. Yeah.
Okay, John Cage. The attitude that I take is that everyday life is more interesting than forms of celebration. When we become aware of it, that when is when our intentions go down to zero, then suddenly you notice that the world is magical.
Wow. Read that again.
Okay, the attitude I take is that everyday life is more interesting than forms of celebration when we become aware of it. That when is when our intentions go down to zero. Then suddenly you notice that the world is magical.
Wow. And that's different than what our first show when Walter's saying I celebrate myself and sing myself.
How do you mean?
Well, he's using the word here, magical, and John Cage. And when we don't intend anything, as I understand him, when we don't intend anything,
We're taking ourselves out of the picture. We're taking our preconceived notions, our expectations, we're taking all of that crap out of the
but
picture.
we're here. We're still here.
Yeah.
Big time. And I agree. I'm doing it now.
And we're just noticing.
You were magical.
Thank you for finally coming around to that.
It took a while. Notice there's no reciprocity. You would not go there. That's great when you compliment someone. You say, you are magical, thank you.
Well, I don't know which comic. I forget the comic who came up with this. But I quote it often. And one of these days I'll find out who said it. He said, after going on and on and on about himself, he said finally, okay, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
I have a friend who's like that.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, so stop me anytime.
No,
Anytime.
I don't dream of it. I adore you and you are magical.
Here's a funny one.
But these are hard, because I can take all of these quotes, I'm just such a rule person, and intend to follow them. And John Cage says as soon as you're doing that, you're not.
Well, you're becoming attached to the form.
To the intention, which is so limiting.
Yeah.
I intend to adore you, rather than a lot. It's way more powerful. Not even allowing it to happen. Just not wanting anything to happen and be present to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, I can make a rule.
But you can say, while you're being present to what's happening, I adore you.
Yeah.
And allow whatever comes from that.
Yes.
Comes from saying that, and maybe what comes from it is joy.
No, but I have one of my challenges is I will intend to have no intention. I'm sure yourself. I'm always trapped in myself. Is there a way to not? But I can just say I want to.
Okay, I've got an example that's similar.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very I'm like an excruciatingly structured guy. I need structure. I need a plan. I need a plot. I need. But I know sometimes it can be too much. That I need to give myself a break. And so I've had the idea of like scheduling a break time, and what I'm to do during the break time is to do nothing.
Well.
Now, I've never actually done it, but it's a great idea, and someday I'm going to do it, maybe before I die.
Supposedly the Jews, Jews and Christians,
do what?
The Sabbath is supposed to.
Oh, that's true. I don't honor the Sabbath.
No.
Completely.
No, unfortunately that's the heart of it.
Well, I think Orthodox Jews, though, generally.
I lived in an Orthodox kibbutz, and so
really?
It was really sad. It was just.
Don't tell me they were on the computer.
No,
don't tell me they were like.
No, but it was just,
sweeping.
It was a sleepy time. Naps, maybe making love to your wife, which is very lovely. But it didn't have. They got used to it, as you can get used to anything.
Get used to what?
The Sabbath.
Oh, and they just wanted to extend the Sabbath into the week?
No,
what do you say?
no. Just the Sabbath was ritualized in a way. You prayed in the morning. It wasn't.
You turned it into a structure.
Yes, the same thing I would do myself. Instead of, I'm learning sometimes to get together with people. We're doing it. Now we have this structured. And we've discovered if we don't have this so structured, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once it's structured, then we can wander. That seems to be the way I like to live.
Mm-hmm.
To meet with people.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my life is super structured, but within that super structure, there is a whole lot of room for improvisation.
Yeah, I love both. I need both. I can't do what Cage says. I could structure.
Well, I would be interested in following him around with a camera for a week.
And see how
and see what he really does.
Oh yeah,
he can say all kinds of things.
I could structure that. I could say, okay, let's get together. We don't do this, you and I either. Let's get together. I do that with the man living with me now, which is very helpful to me.
So you have a roommate.
A roommate, and and from time to time we just meet in our. We only live in 2 rooms.
Right.
And we just there's no structure, and that's been so wonderful for me to talk to someone without structure.
I'll try that someday. Okay, unless you have more to say.
No.
You ready for a wow?
Sure.
Friedrich Nietzsche.
Oh my.
A one-liner. The essence of all beautiful art, all great art, is gratitude.
Wow! From Nietzsche of all people.
Yeah.
That's very beautiful. That's sometimes this particular one blinds me with its power. Oof. It feels like it's condensed light, making it into words.
I've never heard that idea before. That's very original.
Right. That means Van Gogh, when he's painting shoes or the stars, his basic drive is gratitude. You could, I think you could relate to that big time.
Well, the way that I relate to it is this, that when I'm in artistic flow, when I'm creating and I'm in flow, if you will, that I feel like there's something moving through me that is not mine. I'm being used for something. And I am grateful to be used for something useful.
You're a good man. I just thank it for helping me being my supporting cast. Thank you, Grace of the Universe, for being my supporting cast.
For being your audience? What do you mean?
For just helping me do my right. I don't.
Helping you do your homework?
Yes, do whatever. Everyone's there to help me, including God, grace, beauty.
Well, enough about you. Let's talk about me.
Yeah,
What do I think about you?
Yes, even that is a stretch. But that's very beautiful, though. Each of these can change our life. Each one of them.
The writer Annie Lamott wrote a book called, I think it's The 3 Essential Prayers.
And one is gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you. In fact, I think the title of the book was 3 Essential Prayers. It might be 4, but I think it's 3. 3 essential prayers. So thank you is one.
Yeah.
Help is another. And wow is the third. Yeah,
Wow.
it is. Is wow. So wow is all about just honoring.
Not help me. Help me wasn't one of the.
Oh yes, it was.
Oh.
It was help, wow, and thanks.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We're winding down your show in a very.
Yeah. I would add a fourth. And
Yes.
that fourth is I'm sorry.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And you have that. That when you pray, you are over.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I would add it as a fourth, because I maybe as a good Catholic, I don't know, but I spend some time in internal self-examination, seeing where I've fallen short of perfection, but keep seeking it anyway, seeking to find it, love it, adore it, worship it, perfection. Even though I can't achieve it as a human being, I know that it's here with me, in me, and around all of us all the time. That's all the time that we have for God Talk. See you next time.
God bless.
God bless.
Wow.